have sent over 24 missionaries, local and global missionaries, people of the house that have felt the call, not just to sit in here and give, not just to sit in here and pray, which are both important, but they've been willing to give their lives to the cause that they've been called to. The seed for missions giving was planted deep within my core a long time ago. Whether it was from those conversations that or happened around the table late nights after Sunday night when we would host missionaries in our homes, to my youth pastor challenging me in youth group to raise money from countries that I couldn't even spell, let alone pronounce, so that we could provide vehicles, transportation, so that the gospel could be preached around the globe. To this missions core of who I am being birthed within me, to growing to the point of doing crazy things to raise money for missions. Once I rode a bicycle 255 miles in 2.5 days for one purpose, not to show that I'm the man, but to show that there's a reason greater than ourselves that we should be raising money for, sharing the gospel. In a 24-hour period, I shot 15,000 free throws. Just to set a world record, not so that people could know Jonathan Reynolds, so that $5,000 could be raised for missions. You see, at the core of who I am, I'm missions minded. That mindset actually followed me into my marriage with Kelly. As we have sat down through the years, contemplating, wrestling with what's God calling us to this year, where are we supposed to be leaning into in our level of sacrifice and giving above and beyond the tithe. And I can tell you that I'm a testament of God's faithfulness. That every time we have made a faith commitment, a faith promise, that we've written down an amount that we know is stretching us to the extreme of our faith, God has always brought the increase into our lives. So that truly is at the core of who I am. So I count it an honor today to represent our Vision Builder leadership team and challenging you to become a vision builder. And I ask this question: what's at the core of who you are? What motivates you? What gets you out of bed? I want you to wrestle with that question through the conversation today, because I believe it's what is at the core of everyone that calls themselves a vision builder. I've heard it once said many times, it's not the day that you were born is important, but it's the day that you figure out why you were born. What's at your core? Today, I just want to walk through several passages of Scripture. And we've talked about it so many times at the core of being a vision builder, that we're challenging you to pray, we're challenging you to give, and we're challenging you to go. But these 3 words didn't just come from a cool slogan to motivate you to do something. It actually comes from Scripture. And it comes from our vision that was launched in 2018. Now, before 2018, from 1975 when we became a church to 2018, we believed in missions. We would not be here today unless people believed in missions. But in 2018, Pastor Rick launched the vision of Vision Builders. And we didn't launch it with a mission statement, but with a prayer that, Lord, give me a holy discontent for the lost, the forgotten, and the broken. And let this prayer be a guide that leads us as a church, that creates in us a burden to reach people both globally and locally, and invest in future leaders who will carry that same burden. It's from that vision that we're challenging you today to become a vision builder with us. Over the last 8 years, we have challenged people to pray. We have challenged people to give, and we've challenged people to go. And in those 8 short years, we have seen God bring the increase in our lives. In those short years since 2018, we have seen over $7 million raised above and beyond our tithe so that the gospel could be shared around this globe. Wow. To God be the glory. Since 2018, we have supported over 90 missionaries globally and locally. That's because of your giving. And because we are vision builders, we have sent over 24 missionaries, local and global missionaries, people of the house that have felt the call, not just to sit in here and give, not just to sit in here and pray, which are both important, but they've been willing to give their lives to the cause that they've been called to.